long story short, it's not easy here and I want to go home.
You may have heard of a tuk-tuk in Bangkok, but have you ever been in a tak-tak?
Isn't that a perfect way to start this video this morning? This is the hose that supplies all the water from the bore over there. Lele's in here either cleaning the bathroom or it's looking a lot better in here. Blast all that dirt out. Bangkok Lele. Morning coffee in hand. It is beautiful here, but it's really hard. I am struggling immensely. The things I'm really struggling with are the bugs. Mosquitoes are okay because you can put coils around and they'll dissipate. But the flies and these little tiny little ones, there's nothing I can do to get rid of them. They're buzzing all around my body, my drink, all over everybody's food. Call me a spoilt city kid, but I'm not used to that sensation of having insects crawling on my skin. It's something that I'm not used to. Lele would love me to live up here. Could I really do it, realistically? Well, the second thing that's a bit of a struggle up here, I don't speak Thai. I don't speak Isan. Noir.
Yeah.
So Auntie's collected grass for her buffalo from Lele's sister's plot of land. Oh, you okay? And to date, I have not met a single other village member that has any English. So that's my fault, but the only person I can speak to is Lele, and her daughter has a little bit of English, which is amazing for her age. She's such a smart cookie. The three young nephews, they did at one point have some English, and interestingly, since the boys moved from Pattaya up here to Isan, the eldest in particular, he had full English.
You'll find that there's multiple modes of interesting transport here in this village. He's only 12 years old now, but I trust him.
Now, since he's been up here for the last 5 or so years, he's all but lost it. So that tells me something about language. If you're not using it on a regular basis, it will slip. The third thing, it's hot here. We're exposed to the elements. In the new garage house that we've had built up here in the last week, there's gaps all through the roof and everything. It's absolutely not airtight. So bugs and, well, yesterday we found a snake had been in there because when we pulled up the mat, there was a little pile of eggs. I said to the auntie, what are these? Snake. There's no snakes in there now, but just super exposed. Fuck it, I'll say it. The thing I most struggle with here is the cultural differences. Call me an old, grumpy old bastard set in my ways, but it is so not the West here. This is another planet. I'll give you an example. So when we were struggling to find my medication, it's depression medication that I have to take every day rigidly. I didn't bring enough up here. That's my fault, because I assumed I could just pick some up at the local pharmacy, like I can in Pattaya or Bangkok. This is something frustrating and something worth mentioning for anyone thinking of retiring outside of the city tourist areas. This is the 5th pharmacy that I've come to get my medication. They don't even know what it is. So that's frustrating. So I have to keep looking. After hunting around 7 pharmacies, I said to Lele, what is going on? Like, why are they missing these essential medications that I would have expected to be on the shelf? And she said, oh, no. People don't understand what low mood is here, or depression or anxiety. It's not something that's taught in schools. It's not something that's talked about. So even if one of the locals here, one of the people in the village, they're struggling with this stuff, they won't go to the doctor and ask for help because it doesn't exist.
We're now in the heart of Ubon Ratchathani city, about an hour and a bit from their village. No have medication.
The first 6 pharmacies that we visited, the person behind the counter, whether they were a trained pharmacist or just a clerk, did not know about the medication, did not know what it was, had never heard of it. And that really worried me. It got me thinking.
There's so many people in the world that are only alive now because of medication. So it makes me think, what other like essential medication is A, not available here, and B, not known?
Whether it's diabetes medication or HIV, antiretrovirals, or cancer medication, do they not know about that cultural difference? It's absolutely futile for me to try and impress my Western expectations on the people around me. It just absolutely falls on deaf ears. She basically said to me in the car, well, I don't believe that depression exists, I don't understand it, I don't know what you mean, and suicide doesn't exist either. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? Like, she said, people don't take medication here. They just go to temple and they're fine. And I thought, bullshit. I see your auntie, she arrived yesterday morning at 10 a.m, bottle of Sangsom whiskey in the hand, in a water bottle, there, drinking it. People smoke yaba, heroin is everywhere, alcoholism is rife. You're telling me that people in Thailand don't medicate, don't self-medicate?
I feel a little bit vindicated. So the pharmacy that Lele just went into, the young female pharmacist said, no, we don't stock it, but I actually take it. So I can tell you where to go. She said there's only 1 or 2 pharmacies in this entire city that stock this.
All but futile, trying to change anyone's mind, trying to educate. Forget about it. Anyway, I've partnered with a sponsor. Great fit for me. BetterHelp online therapy hub. I've shared extensively about my depression and anxiety. There's no shame in seeing a therapist. I've seen well over a dozen across my life so far. I can show you how to tap into the network of over 25,000 licensed therapists servicing the community online today. Man, you don't even have to have a face-to-face or a video chat. You can get assistance via messaging if you want. The scheduling flexibility is there. The website, it's fun. When I signed up, I started by answering a bunch of multiple choice questions about myself, kind of like choosing ingredients for my pizza when ordering home delivery. I can swap therapists if I need to with no additional charge if I'm not feeling it. In my life, there's probably been maybe 10 or 15 times when I felt like the fight is too much. It's good to know that I have a backstop, a safety net while I'm overseas, while I'm out here in the jungle, up here in Isan, without much familiarity or security. I'm trying to be strong for Lele, her daughter, grandma, and the 3 boys, and some days I just don't find that strength. You can log in, have a chat with a female or a male, and then get on with it. To me, it's tragic that seeking help isn't part of the culture here in Isan. I can guarantee you the self-medicating going on here, the struggle I can see in some of the eyes of the locals, it's heartbreaking to learn that you have to hide that out here. BetterHelp, it's accessible, it's affordable, and I can recommend it.
Sweet success, Somsak Pharmacy in Ubon Ratchathani City. 8th time lucky. There were actual pharmacists in there, and that's the first time that I think they weren't just like some sort of clerk.
Rusty, one of the aunties and the cousin, they're out here picking potatoes this morning, and these guys are ready to go. My American friend Ramsey from back in Pattaya, he asked Lele and I to bring back some of these special potatoes. So these babies behind me, they're all corn, super young, and they're going to get way, way over my height. As soon as they're fully grown, they'll get pulled out, harvested, and then the rice will go in here, the whole field.
This thing you can hear in the background, this is called a tak-tak. I think it's basically like a homemade tractor. We'll take a closer look. I think I'm able to have a little ride. 2, 3. Okay, we're on. Let's see where this tak-tak takes us. Oh my gosh, what have you brought us, Minnie? It's a puppy. How old? How many years? I'll see you later then. For one of the auntie's families who's who does a lot of looking after the nephews of the kids. Lele is going to say thank you by shouting them a mukata dinner. What are you getting? Oh, veggies. Oh, ma. I trust Auntie knows exactly what to get. So we've driven over to the next village along, and this is their big market. And there is a massive, large fridge full of cold meats and fish. So a mukata, if you have never heard of that before, is a small barbecue basically. You create a fire underneath and then a tin pan goes on top. You can cook a soup while simultaneously doing the meat on top. So you sort of cook and eat as you go, which is so typically Thai. You really don't get a sense from the video of how hot it is here. Hello, how are you? What? Titos. Hello, Mark. What did we get? Mukata. Oh, aloi. Mukata Thai ban.
Mukata Thai ban.
I'll give you a quick update on the sick dog. He is a soy dog, not a family pet. As such, he wouldn't let me or anyone else pick him up, and certainly wouldn't go in a car to the vet. A special thank you to Nathan D and his wife from Australia, who sent some money to help pay for treatment. Lele's auntie, who owns a farm next door, has bought antibiotics and more pain medication and continues to administer them, crushed up in his water bowl. I can report that the dog has regained some movement in his back left leg. One's out cold and the other is still sucking, almost asleep.
Mukata cooking has begun, and Lele's scooping out the ants with my uncooked mushroom. So we've got the mama noodle in there for the soup, and then mushrooms and what would be meat and fish go here. Okay, noodles are done. The sauce is in, and then you just mush it around, right, Lele? Mm-hmm. It's basically 2-minute noodle, cook as you go, add protein as you go. As you can see, it's a super social thing. I'm not trying to be antisocial at all and not sit with Drew. I just need to sit near the PowerPoint because I don't eat fish, and what's going on down there is super fishy.
I need to say a big thank you to those special souls who donated on Buy Me a Coffee and signed up to Patreon after last week's video. Lele has ordered 3 new beds for the boys, linen and furniture, so they can move into the new shack with some semblance of comfort. I also want to make a special mention of Bradley P, whose donation meant I could book my visa run and cover costs up here at short notice. Partnering with BetterHelp is one of the ways I can make this strange situation a little more viable. It looks like we made it. We're off to Phnom Penh this morning. I can't believe I'm here at the airport. It is such a stark contrast to the heat and the exposure and the flies and the mosquitoes and the mud everywhere and the squatty toilets. I love the buffaloes, but the buffaloes everywhere, and the sick soy dogs and the snakes. This border run to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, is going to be like a little holiday for me. It's an essential one, it has to be done, but I'm going to Phnom Penh for the first time at age 38.